Hey guys, my name is Hannah Tam, and I am doing my presentation over Robert Mugabe. He's the president of Zimbabwe, Africa. Machiavelli, one of the philosophers that we studied in our course, said that it is better for a leader to be feared than it is to be loved, because love is considered a weaker vessel and will not help one obtain the desired outcome that they so wish. He also said that people are more motivated by way of means and ends, and that they will do whatever it takes to achieve that end that they so desire. They will go to such extents as taking advantage of a person as a way of means to get to that end that they want. Robert Mugabe is such a man. He was born in 1924, February 21st, in Kutantama, southern Rhodesia. His mother raised him mostly when his father went to work in South Africa and never returned. Robert Mugabe helped his mom with household chores, raising cattle, and doing other odds and end jobs to help make ends meet. Despite his hard upbringing, he was able to achieve a really good education from Jetsu Mission, where he received his high school diploma and went on to achieve his bachelor's in arts in history and English from University of Fort Hare. He taught in northern Rhodesia for 4 years and decided after this that he wanted to go back to school to receive his bachelor's in science and economics. In 1987, a horrific thing happened where the anti-government rebels came and killed 16 white missionaries near the Matabele land. These missionaries were living in a community amongst blacks where they taught them how to be more self-sustaining, teaching them things such as farming, irrigation, teaching them how to use irrigation to water their crops and whatnot, because Zimbabwe is known for its drought. They also taught them how to raise cattle, goats, and chickens. They taught some of the women how to bake, and they even started a ministry reaching out to women coming out of prostitution by meeting weekly and teaching them how to quilt and knit. Amongst the 16 whites that were killed, there were 4 men, 5 women, and 7 children, the youngest being 6 weeks old. You may wonder why I chose Robert Mugabe as my man to talk about as a leader. The reason I did is because my parents lived in Zimbabwe amongst this community where these 16 whites were killed. They lived there for 2.5 years and moved back to the States 2 months before all these 16 whites were killed. This incident happened right before Robert Mugabe became president in 1987. After this incident, he decided to join his union with Nkomos and continue their movement as far as wanting to move out all the whites out of the country of Zimbabwe. They use fear tactics as a way to intimidate the whites and make them flee the country, never to return, as well as putting fear in future whites that would want to come and live in Zimbabwe. The people of Zimbabwe were filled with hope when Mugabe was sworn into office, because he had such a charismatic personality and had a seemingly freedom-based agenda by promising the blacks that he was going to give back them their land that was theirs before the whites came and took over. However, not long after Mugabe was in power, his agenda changed. He became a man that sought only to achieve ultimate power. He used fear tactics as a way of ruling and was only interested in what benefited himself. Mugabe has been reigning in power for over 26 years. He is now 89 years old and has rigged almost every election that has ever been since he's been president. He uses starvation as a way to get people to not come to the voting polls. He has basically brought what was known as the breadbasket of Zimbabwe to an utter halt. It used to be a very prosperous country, and now it is known for really nothing. People are without jobs. Hyperinflation has set in so much to where people are taking almost bags and wheelbarrows full of money to the grocery store to buy just a loaf of bread or milk, and that's if they can even find those things. Upon receiving money or earning money, they have to go out and spend it almost immediately because the value of their money, it loses value so quickly. Mugabe has even been compared to Hitler and has been actually called the Black Hitler of his time. He wears this title with pride, and the last election in August of this year, he said that if people couldn't stomach the defeat, that they needed to go commit suicide. Looking over the life of Robert Mugabe and his reign in power, we can see as a clear example of how one man of great power can bring a flourishing country like Zimbabwe to its knees. It's important that we elect men and women into power that care about the greater good of the people and make decisions that further the success of a country.